British rule of India had begun with the advent of the East India Company, a trading house given a charter by the English monarchy and which had come to the subcontinent in search of trade and commerce. It was in the process of protecting its commercial interests that the early company agents actually laid the foundations of the British Empire in India. The East India Company began without a strip of territory, but gradually a warehouse was expanded into a province, and a province into an empire. From 1763 to 1856, there were more than 40 major rebellions recorded against the British in various parts of the country. But these were local in their spread and isolated from each other. (1857). In the desolate confines of the Red Fort in Delhi, an 82-year-old Bahadur Shah Zafar, with the imposing title of the Emperor of Hindustan, but whose writ is now restricted to a small territory between Palam and Yamuna. Some 40 miles away in the British cantonment of Meerut, there is brewing resentment among Indian soldiers against the new rifles and grease-laden cartridges issued to them. These cartridges, they have been told, contain beef and pig tallow. Another 300 miles away in Jhansi, Rani Laxmibai, the 23-year-old widow of Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, is seething with anger against the British Governor-General. Through a doctrine of lapse proclaimed by him, he had refused to recognize the right of her adopted son's succession to the throne. In a span of 3 short days, between the 9th of May and the 11th of May 1857, tumultuous events were to entwine the destinies of the old Mughal emperor, the young Sepoys of Meerut and Rani Laxmibai of Jhansi, as well as others. The spark that set off this explosion had been provided on the 29th of March that year, with the execution of Mangal Pandey, who was the first to revolt against the use of the new rifles. Mangal Pandey's execution gave him an aura of martyrdom. On the 9th of May, some Indian soldiers stationed at Meerut revolted against their British commanding officers and headed for Delhi. They reached the ramparts of the Red Fort and besieged the old emperor to assume command. Rani Laxmibai herself marched into a heroic battle against the British.
बुंदेले हर बोरों के मुंह हमने सुनी कहानी थी खूब लड़ी मर्दानी वो तो झांसी वाली रानी थी खूब लड़ी मर्दानी वो तो झांसी वाली रानी थी
In death, she became an eternal symbol of courage for Indian womanhood. The euphoria of this rebellion was, however, short-lived. It was crushed and barbaric reprisals followed. The colonialists called it the Sepoy Mutiny. Indians said it was a war of independence.
It is for the first time that such a large number of people in different parts of the country, drawn from different areas, resisted the British government. It also tried to throw away the British rule in a very, very consistent manner.
In 1858, India became a crown colony, and Queen Victoria assumed the title of the Empress of India. But the rebellion of 1857 had already exposed the cracks which were developing in the imposing facade of British colonialists.
People understood the importance of an alien role, the destructive character of an alien rule.
Ironically, this movement was given a national forum by an Englishman. In December 1885, A.O. Hume got together a number of prominent Indian leaders to organize the Indian National Congress at Bombay, presided by W.C. Banerjee and attended by around 72 delegates from all over the country. This innocuous political party in the years to follow was to become a nationwide movement in the vanguard of India's struggle for independence. By the late 19th century, a form of cultural nationalism was already beginning to evolve. It was manifest in the works of poets and writers, including the Bengali poet Rabindranath Tagore, who was later to win the Nobel Prize for Literature. It surfaced in the paintings of Raja Ravi Verma, who used Indian icons and motifs to visualize the many gods and goddesses of the Hindu religious pantheon, thus bringing back a sense of pride in indigenous cultural symbols. It also came in the form of social reforms with the birth of Arya Samaj and the philosophy preached by Swami Vivekananda.